Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers continue to move through the season and want to find a way to secure win number 3 on the year. It's the Texans going up against the Steelers. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come in playing well on both sides of the ball. Winners of 6 of their last 8 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. 2nd down following the run. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And now out comes Houston. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And the tight end goes in motion left. And some room to roam now. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
That's a big league run. Takes them down inside the 5-yard line, and momentum definitely on the side of the guys on offense. And if you're an offensive lineman, you love to run the football, especially out in the field where there's some space. But I would go in on a little bit of a secret. Those guys like it in tight, too, because they get matched up and they get to show just how stout they are in a tough situation. They're recommended to run it again.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now they send a man in motion right. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
After the penalty, it's Bell. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy. He came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Brandon, as a defender, after a big running play against my group, I'm actually happy to see a draw play. Why? It takes a little bit longer to develop, and that gives me a chance to diagnose it and get to the...
And the D looking like they may blitz. On 2nd down, it's Bell. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And some space here. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Goes underneath for Bell. Room to run inside the 40. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it, too.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now they'll run it on the toss. Fighting through, and he's got space. It's a foot race. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground at the 28. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Let's go! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round!
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Throw left side complete. It's Charles. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Texans will extend their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Again, it's Bell. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
Here we go now. Green.
On third down, it's Bell. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. Why does Larry always do that? He just stops talking. But let's go play the third quarter. I'm psyched. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On 1st and 10, Watson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go.
To throw on second is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Charles. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
In motion comes the tight end left. Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. The 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His third touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll go again with Bell. Only able to get it to his own 20 after breaking through the contact. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll look to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at about the 28. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. And the tight end goes in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get first downs leads to the field goal try. And the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A give to Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. As they run left side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Now they'll run it on the toss. They find some open field here. 20, 10, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. 58 yards. And the Texans add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his 3rd so far. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
Come on, let's go! Ohio!
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. Skirts by at the 15. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down. 5 yards to go for the offense. First down and goal from that 5-yard line. In motion left, the tight end. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a second and goal.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Watson. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And he comes back with 1 complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
Here's Marquette King now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No, I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the Steelers set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone,
under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the defense definitely showing blitz here.
Here we go now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
This is Johnson. He's got it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, turning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On 3rd down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable 3rd down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 24. And nothing but daylight ahead. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door, and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Houston, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.